Never be too busy for God. Spend time with God first. In our fast-paced lives, getting caught up in endless tasks, responsibilities, and commitments is easy. We rush from one thing to the next, often leaving little time to pause, reflect, and reconnect with God. Yet, God calls us to prioritize Him above everything else, to make Him our first thought, conversation, and act each day. Spending time with God first isn't just a suggestion. It's an invitation to build a foundation of peace, strength, and purpose. When we place God at the center of our lives, everything else falls into place. It's a way of saying, God, you are more important to me than anything this world can offer. And as we set aside time for Him, we create space for His blessings, guidance, and peace to fill every corner of our lives. Making time for God first reshapes our entire day. It provides a moment to surrender our worries, receive His wisdom, and anchor ourselves in His love. Spending time with God isn't about checking off a religious duty. It's about deepening our relationship with Him. It's about giving Him our undivided attention and allowing His presence to shape us from the inside out. Every morning, when we prioritize time with God, we're reminded of His promises, His love, and His faithfulness. As we start our day with Him, we build a foundation that keeps us strong and focused, no matter what comes our way. Building a foundation of peace. When we spend time with God first, we're choosing to start our day with a sense of peace that only He can provide. In a world that's often chaotic and overwhelming, God offers a calm that settles our minds and fills our hearts with serenity. Philippians 4-7 reminds us, "And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." This peace isn't based on our circumstances, but on His presence. By prioritizing time with God, we allow His peace to cover us, creating a foundation that helps us handle life's challenges with grace. This peace becomes our anchor, grounding us in God's truth and shielding us from the anxieties that try to steal our joy. As we spend time with God, we're reminded that He is in control, that He sees us, and that He cares deeply about every detail of our lives. This awareness transforms our outlook, making us less susceptible to worry and more focused on His promises. Each morning, when we allow God's peace to fill us, we gain a quiet confidence that stays with us throughout the day, no matter what we face. Strength and guidance for each day. Starting our day with God equips us with the strength we need to face whatever comes our way. Isaiah 40:31 encourages us, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." When we make time for God, we invite His strength into our lives. We acknowledge that on our own, we are limited, but with Him, we can overcome anything. Spending time with God first renews us and gives us the endurance to handle the demands of the day. In addition to strength, God provides us with guidance. As we draw near to Him, He reveals His will for us, directing our steps and helping us make wise decisions. Proverbs 3-5-6 reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." By seeking God's guidance at the start of the day, we align ourselves with His plans, allowing Him to lead us in paths that bring purpose and fulfillment. His wisdom protects us from mistakes and helps us walk in ways that honor Him. Releasing burdens and finding rest. Each day brings its own set of challenges and worries, but when we spend time with God first, we have a place to lay down our burdens. Matthew 11:28-30 invites us, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." In God's presence, we find a rest that goes beyond physical relaxation. It's a deep soul-level rest that renews and refreshes us. By starting our day with God, we give Him our worries, fears, and stresses, trusting that He will carry them for us. This act of surrender frees us from the weight of anxiety and allows us to move forward with peace and confidence. God's rest fills us with a quiet assurance that He is working on our behalf, even when we cannot see it. Each morning, as we release our burdens to Him, we're reminded that we don't have to face life's challenges alone. His presence is with us, providing comfort and strength, a heart aligned with God's purpose. Spending time with God helps us align our hearts with His purpose. It's easy to get swept away by our own ambitions, distractions, and desires, but when we make God our priority, we allow Him to shape our desires to match His. Psalm 37:4 says, "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." As we spend time with God, our hearts become attuned to His will, and our lives become a reflection of His love and grace. This alignment brings a new sense of purpose to our lives. Instead of chasing after fleeting things, we begin to focus on what truly matters, loving God and serving others. Our priorities shift, and we become more intentional about how we spend our time and energy. Each morning, as we seek God first, we're reminded of the bigger picture of the eternal significance of our relationship with Him. This alignment fills us with a sense of fulfillment, knowing that we are walking in His plan. A habit of faithfulness. Spending time with God first each day builds a habit of faithfulness that strengthens our relationship with Him. Just as we water a plant daily to help it grow, we need to nourish our relationship with God regularly. By consistently spending time with Him, we cultivate a deeper connection that sustains us through every season. This habit of faithfulness reminds us that God is always near, ready to listen, guide, and comfort us. Faithfulness also means showing up, even on days when we feel tired or busy. It's in these moments that our relationship with God grows stronger, as we choose to place Him above everything else. Each morning, as we set aside time for God, we're reminded of His unwavering faithfulness toward us, inspiring us to respond with the same commitment. Through this daily habit, we experience a closeness with God that transforms our hearts and deepens our love for Him. Drawing closer to God through prayer and worship. Prayer and worship are powerful ways to connect with God, allowing us to express our gratitude, seek His guidance, and invite His presence into our lives. When we start our day with prayer, we open our hearts to God, sharing our hopes, fears, and needs with Him. Prayer becomes a conversation that draws us closer to Him, building intimacy and trust. Worship, too, is an expression of our love for God, a way of honoring Him for who He is and what He has done in our lives. As we engage in prayer and worship, we're reminded of God's greatness and His love for us. This connection fills our hearts with gratitude, reminding us that, no matter what we face, we have a faithful Father who cares deeply for us. Each morning, as we turn to God in prayer and worship, we experience the fullness of His presence and the assurance of His promises. This closeness with God strengthens us and fills our lives with joy and peace. Living each day with a grateful heart. When we spend time with God first, we cultivate a heart of gratitude. We become more aware of His blessings and more appreciative of His love. Psalm 100:4 encourages us, "Enter His gates with thanksgiving and His courts with praise. Give thanks to Him and praise His name." Gratitude transforms our outlook, shifting our focus from what we lack to the abundance of God's grace in our lives. It reminds us that, no matter the challenges we face, we have much to be thankful for. This gratitude changes our attitude and impacts how we approach each day. Instead of being weighed down by complaints or worries, we're uplifted by a sense of thankfulness. Each morning, as we spend time with God, we're reminded of His faithfulness and goodness, filling our hearts with joy and contentment. This gratitude creates a ripple effect, inspiring us to bless others and spread kindness wherever we go. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.